Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. Now, in the last episode, we saw this country. I think they formed. We had a little thing that happened right there. Tanzania expanded. Some new stuff happening in Southeast Asia. The North Indian Federation and the Lime Team went to war. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened, including stuff in Iberia. But in today's video, we're gonna take a look at a lot more stuff, including the colonization or the start of the colonization and the exploration and discoveration. I don't know if that's the right term of the Americas by the European countries. So if you guys enjoy these types of videos, please subscribe and like and comment some suggestions. But anyways, let's get into the video. So, not focusing on all that stuff going on in America, a holy Norwegian war will start off this episode, and that is the green team right here. They're gonna be starting their invasion of the brown country, and well, it goes very swiftly, and then that is when they start a joint operation against the pink team with the yellow team, and that looks something like this. And let's go ahead and take a look at the speech tree. Well, it's just this. So yeah, the whole Norwegian Empire is becoming way more united, and yeah, so this island is becoming, or not this island, this whatever the peninsula, this holy empire. Well, like I said, they're becoming united, and the sense of unification is soaring through all of these states right here in an act against Sweden, who is looking to maybe sort of conquest some of these nations. Anyway, let's just go ahead and start. So, the country that will be discovering America is actually going to go ahead and be the red team. The red team has been building up for this moment as they send a large amount of ships over to the Americas. They go all the way forwards and they just keep going. Ocean storms do kind of make them go in a weird direction, but it's fine as they're still in the path of the Americas. Eventually their path is averted and they go they go right above Bermuda, and they eventually go and they discover Long Island. And yeah, so the first people that have discovered the Americas are the red team, and they have landed in New York. And let's go ahead and color this in. So the first European colony will be the red team's colony. Surprisingly, they have been able to build up for this moment and be able to forge a colony, as well as afford it. Anyways, more of these countries, like the Union over here, they're also going to go ahead and be discovering more land. Like the Welsh Irish Union is going to go ahead and discover the New Brunswick Island, and they're going to go ahead and discover that. So they discover all of this portion of land right here of New Brunswick, and well, they just start taking it, and they're doing really well. The colonizers are doing better than they thought. They still don't know these guys exist, but they will definitely know soon when more countries start to arrive in the Americas. But anyways, a lot of countries over here are going to, like France, they're going to like try to make this safer and more known. So they will just fill in this whole entire area of water right here. And they will also fill in this whole entire area of water right here. However, they don't make any more colonies because it is a very expensive process to do so. However, they do meet up with the elf civilizations, and they're like, wow, these guys are thriving. They have a completely different system of running their government than the rest of the European nations. They are completely different peoples, because they're not people, they're elves, and it's very interesting. So the red team is gonna go ahead and send out more exploration people to go meet up with the elves, and they do, and they even meet up with this lake right here. I think Lake Erie or Lake Ontario. I think this is Lake Ontario, so this is Lake Erie right here. But yeah, they start making interesting relations. Now, some of the countries want to be friends with the elves, and some of the countries do not. Let's look at the major countries that will be colonizing, and let's place a dot over them. So black will be they don't want to defend, white will be they do want to defend the elves. So this is what it looks like. So the British political union wants to defend the elves. And same thing with the red team in Iberia. However, the blue team, the purple team, and the gold team do not want to defend the uh the elves. They want to invade the elves. So this disagreement will definitely be interesting in the future. However, it will just time will have to tell on what will happen, and maybe we can see a couple of colonization wars over, of course, the speed of land. Technically native tribes, although these are elf civilizations. And because why not, these guys will just go ahead and discover Florida for the heck of it. And actually, a new elf will pop up here, that being a Florida nation elf. That's bad. Florida elves are already pretty much. Florida people are basically not even humans anyway, so yeah. Sorry, Floridans. I'm actually gonna try to make it a little bit more red because it just looks a little weird. Yeah, so red. Yeah. But anyways, that is going to actually do it for colonization in this episode. It just happened. It just started. In countries like the Ottomans, countries like the Brown Italians, the Sicilians, the Swedish, they probably could colonize. So not including them, but like the Russians, they want to colonize. But these countries are just they're just too sophisticated where they are, and they're not where the world really started. So unfortunately for them, they're not going to be able to get as much or any land really from this colonization effort. So that is unfortunate for them. But the Russians, they're gonna go up north and they're gonna discover these islands over here, and they're gonna explore them, and then of course they are going to colonize them. So a new territory has just been added to the Russian Empire. Anyways, a lot of exploration is happening in this video as all of the Siberian area has finally been discovered. It's been a while, and it probably already was discovered. It just probably wasn't marked on the map. That's because it wasn't. So let's go ahead and take a look at the claims of some of these countries. So the pink team will claim all of this land right here. A pretty big claim of land, if you ask me. Not all of that. There we go. The purple team, that's what? The purple team is actually going to claim a good amount of land, which is going to be that, and that is going to really make the yellow team over here mad. But, womp womp, I guess. And there will be two more countries, well, there'll be more countries forming, but two southern ones, and then probably one big one in the north. That being, one of those being this brownish team right here. And then we see a very large green one pop up, and, well, then we can see one more country claiming a bit of land, and that is, of course, Russia. And they will claim this last really big portion of land from Siberia until we can go ahead and see that there will be one more nation popping up. And then for the final one, we see an orange/yellow country popping up. This has barely any people living in it. But just going really down south, we see a very interesting event happen, and that is these three countries all forming a union. These three countries, sorry, I can't count, have formed a union to become expansionist. Remember, the blue team did own all of these guys at once, but they are now expansionists. That is the wrong layer. So they will start their invasion of this green country up here, and the green country just formed. So they're of course going to be a very weak country, but the Chinese and even their own alliance is gonna say stop it. They just formed, and that's probably not a good idea to invade them as soon as they form. And well, as you can see, they actually do pretty good in this war. But the green team that just formed somehow manages to push back against this unified state of the blue team. I don't know how. Who knows? The green team actually manages to push back, and well, it kind of is obvious who they're getting aid from, and we'll just have to see. Anyways, the blue team is going to be forced into a peace treaty, where they do gain some lands. However, their lands that they get are not too beneficial. And then, of course, the rest of it will just go to the green team. And the blue, what? And the blue team is forced to pay reparations to the green team. So the green team is benefiting mostly from this war, as the land that was taken isn't too valuable. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and update cities. But after the peace treaty, guess who joined the Trapezoid Alliance? Yes, it is gonna go ahead and be the green team up here. And, well, the Trapezoid Alliance seems to be a powerful, influential alliance in Asia due to the popularity of people against the, sort of cross alliance. A lot, I almost said star, and then I said circle, so I don't know what I'm saying today. Anyways, for the final event of this video, we're gonna go ahead and see a lot of Indonesia being discovered. The age of exploration is once again kicking off, and a lot of countries are starting to explore the waters and land around them in order for to know more curiosity about the world. Well, they are curious about the world, so they want to know, and they start discovering, and they even meet up with Australia and start discovering the areas around it, and well, they start exploring the northern tip as well, and eventually they go all the way down here, and this is the best areas of Australia down here. So they're gonna go ahead and discover this for now, and then, well, eventually they will discover the whole Australian continent slash island, and I'm going to kill my dog. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. I know this was a very weird video, but yeah, see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.